Hi, so we're working our way down the pyramid of the 21 questions CNA, and 15 of the 21 questions are marketing questions. Only 6 of them are to do with, 5 of them are to do with media, and then the final question is, how do we tell what's your most profitable story to tell? Message. So right now we are in fact moving into media questions. We have been on establishing the first 5 or 6 foundational questions with a client, and then moving to the 15 marketing questions. Now we're moving into 5 media questions. And these are when and where questions. This is going to establish when their business is going to most benefit from which stories, what are their most successful quarters, what days, weeks, and months do they typically tell their story, laying out a calendar, when, this is very tactical, and when have particular events, this is also where you introduce event marketing, when have particular events really worked for you, for your business. What were they? What was the ROI on those particular events? So we know that your group is getting more and more involved with event marketing and being involved with events, and it's important to some clients to be out there and to be visible, to be engaging with customers and potential customers in a way that they can't do remotely. So on site can be really important to them. This is the when and the where is asking, is event marketing important to you? What types of media do you currently engage in? And are you happy with them? What is it? Now you notice this isn't way up in the conversation. This is very late in the conversation by design, so that you can establish all of these business and marketing questions long before you start digging into media. So when and where? When do you advertise? Where do you advertise? Who do you utilize? What's your benchmark for success? What's effectiveness and efficiency with each and every one of these groups? What's your relationship? How do you feel about customer service with this particular? So this is really digging into what their current media map looks like and how they judge its success. And again, you're determining how satisfied they are with each one of these components. And then do they have an appetite for event marketing? What is their appetite for? Do they feel that the online digital world, from a marketing standpoint, these questions, is more important or less important to the vitality of their business than it was a year ago or 2 years ago? Do they believe social media is an important factor when utilized properly within the scope? Do they think it's more important than it was a few years ago? Do they think video is important? Again, you're not getting right into talking about trying to sell them your product. You're asking them how they feel about it. How do you feel about video? What do you think? And then you give them those very easy binary questions. Well, do you think it's more important or less important? Do you think that your story would be translated well in video? Do you think people would engage with it? Do you think they would? Is it a great story to tell in video? Could you see it unfolding? What might it look like? So this is the when you're starting to get into the nitty gritty and you're starting to bring them down into your wheelhouse. Okay. And that's really it. And you're really trying to identify what their ROI currently is with these other forms of media, including event marketing, what their parameters of success are for that. What does their current dashboard look like? And that's it. This was a simple one, right? This was fast. So where and when? This is walking you through when, days, weeks, months, quarters, event marketing, and how you're judging all of those. What's the ROI with each one of them, and how do they feel about digital marketing? More or less important than it was a year ago. So the next video we're going to talk about message and loop it back around to the importance of story. If you recall, over the course of these 6 or 7 videos, we've peppered in the need for story. Do you have a good story to tell? Do you have a good story to tell? Do you have a good story to tell? It's not as though you just leave story for the last question. Story is introduced right at the very beginning. What does success look like? Do you have a good story to tell? But this is going to bring it full circle now, re-emphasize the importance of story, and then walk them through how to begin to tell that story. Okay, so see you next time.